Hello, ghouls, guys, gals, humanoids of all kinds, and any other type of life forms that may be streaming this broadcast. You are now joining me, Ashley Storm, as we get the paranormal, UFOs, cryptids, serial killers, and dark history all under one freaky little roof. A gathering place for the morbid curiosity to come and play and learn about the deepest, darkest parts of the unknown. Join myself and special guests such as paratech makers, MUFON experts, cryptid hunters, and segments of terrifying tales from around the world in person. Delve more in depth to these subjects than you ever have before. Take my hand and join me on our adventure as we go storming the unknown. Hello, everybody. This is Ashley Storm for Storming the Unknown podcast on RU Media Network. I am here with Alex and Helena King from Boleyn Paranormal, from the American Ghost Hunters Show, and from Living Paranormal Magazine.
Sex Addicts Anonymous.
My camera is not working, so give me 1 second. I have to reset that real quick, of course. What did you guys do? It's your British juju.
I'm sorry.
Why are you talking about my juju? Leave my juju out of this.
Does that actually mean
Your
something?
juju away, bud.
No, I'm just making it.
Sexual?
I'm just making it sound like it means something which doesn't.
I just figured that, people watching needed a break from your face.
Yeah. She's that powerful a medium, she can stop your camera from working.
Apparently there's no sound either, so there's that.
There should be sound. We're live and we're working on this end. Is there still no sound, Melissa? Yeah, there's sound. We're good. All right,
Melissa,
guys.
you forgot to put your headphones in. That's the problem. But your headphones are in your ears, but they're not in the phone.
I've done that.
So have I. So it's all good.
Oh my gosh. She said it could be me. When we had our show, we had so many different types of sound problems that I don't even bother to deal with it anymore. Like, if it's just not working, I'll just stop the show and just be like, we'll try another time.
Done.
I like your give up attitude. That's
Fuck it. That's why we get along so well. All right, guys. So tonight, I've already had Alex on before, and then Helena made a guest appearance in the back, shaking her tatas for us. My camera just keeps going off. What is going on tonight? What did you guys
Well, everybody, thanks for
do?
tuning in.
yeah, this is the point where we give up.
This is the point where we shout, fuck it.
Oh, she said it was her, so.
Melissa, as much as we
There
love
we go.
you, please stop watching. You're ruining the sound.
Somebody's fucking with my video, and I'm not okay with that. I keep having to restart it every, 5 seconds. But that's alright. If you've watched my shows before, you know that it doesn't ever go smoothly, so you're welcome for giving you consistency, at least. But yeah, I've had Alex on before, and then Helena came in and popped on her titties. And
Only
then,
for you, baby. Only for you.
Yeah, buddy. And so I figured we should do this again, but with both of them on screen. And she got her titties popping today too, though. What's up?
You told me to. I
Let's
thought
see.
I can't be selfish.
Just use sexuality to get views, you tart.
Well, if that were true, I'd be
But
showing mine
Ashley,
too.
for later.
Well, I've got my arms crossed so people can't see mine.
He's a bigger than mine.
But not as hairy.
Facts.
Mine too. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so they've made me very aware recently that apparently I laugh like a monkey.
It's not-
A very specific monkey. What
It
was
was
it, a
a cat.
macaque?
You
Yeah.
laugh like a macaque.
Yeah.
I apparently laugh like a macaque, so sorry about that, but just you're gonna have to
It's-
deal with it.
It's,
One
it's,
of my
it's, a,
favourite monkeys, so it's all
it's a
good.
term of endearment. It is no way meant to be an insult.
Well, it better be, because, I mean, I laugh a lot. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about, though, was the fact that you guys have Living Paranormal Magazine, the American Ghost Hunters show, and then you guys, do you still do active investigations with Boleyn Paranormal? I mean, aside from the one you guys did for
we've
American
not
Ghost
had the
Hunters
chance
show.
that much this year because she's about to pop that baby out of her vajayjay. I don't know what that was.
I don't know what that was.
No, yeah, so we've not had a chance to do much investigating this year because she is pregnant, and we've generally had a lot on. But, yeah, Boleyn Paranormal is still a thing, and we're going to be concentrating a lot more on Boleyn Paranormal next year because we're going to invest in new equipment and things like that. We actually have a camera where we can go live using it, but it's in infrared, so you can actually see in the dark using it. So we're not going to be on a phone. We're actually going to be using an infrared camera, so we can go live on Facebook, and you can actually see it properly.
Is that the one that we were talking about from Jeremy
Yeah, that's
Jones?
Paranormal, yeah.
Sorry, if I kicked the shit out of me.
I actually really want to invest in one of those too, because it would make what we do, like when I have to stream for the American Ghost Hunter show, a lot fucking easier than what I've been doing.
A lot of paranormal equipment these days is...
I don't think you should get
just
one.
Just interrupt me.
Because, well, you're boring. Because nothing you get works right.
That's true.
But the stuff she's from Jeremy Jones works. Mr. J.
Yeah,
but
that's pretty much been the only
time.
thing.
I mean, there's a lot of paranormal equipment out there that's like extremely overpriced, but I find JJ does his equipment at a very reasonable price, and
especially with all you
and the
get with
PDA
it.
camera is very reasonably priced. It's not expensive, and it does a very good job.
And they come with lifetime warranty. So I mean, with people like me who, you saw what happened when I was in Broken Bow. I dropped my Periscope, but it still works. I mean, it still works perfectly fine. But if at any point, it were to actually get ruined, which it inevitably will with me, I get it replaced for the free.
Well, there you go.
I mean, I'm not saying the kit's bad. The kit's amazing. I'm saying you shouldn't touch stuff because you're like me.
I really am. Okay, we were watching, what was it? Oh, Good Omens. That guy who actually ends up saving the world because every time he tries to work on a computer or something, he fries it. That's fucking me.
Yeah, that character was played by Jack Whitehall.
Oh, I love that posh wanker.
I love it when you guys use those words. I've literally been using like bollocks and minge and shit like that constantly.
Americans learn the English swear words, and you can get away with swearing at people in America. It's brilliant.
See, but that's why I like the fact that this show, I can put it as explicit, because I can use the American swear words too.
Yeah, but your swear words suck.
Ours are. I
really
find
do.
British swear words are more imaginative.
They really are, though. What was the one? The nonce. I was like,
people of America, if you're watching this, the best person to describe as a nonce would probably be the guy that used to be like the figurehead for Subway.
Jared from Subway. It's a kitty diddler, y'all. It's a kitty diddler.
Through the grapevine that he is a nonce. So, yeah.
No, by his jail sentence, he is a nonce.
Damages. I mean someone that, well, does things that they shouldn't with people of a certain age.
And Subway sandwiches.
I reckon he did.
I got a
Sorry
for
you.
No.
So we are very immature, and this is not serious whatsoever. So maybe we should actually talk about ghosts and shit.
Shay's flirting with me.
Is he?
Yeah. It's alright though, because Andy knows.
Brendan Shay. We saw someone that looked like you today in a store near us, and I was like, "That looks like Brendan." And she said, "Who the hell's Brendan?" I went, "That looks like Shay." And you went, "Oh, Shay."
Actually, my exact words were, "Who the fuck's Brendan?"
Do we use real names for each other
No.
anymore? I was like, I don't think we use each other's real names.
No.
I think I spelled it
Yeah,
right. Everybody in the comments now is
you
asking how
do it.
it's spelled.
Yeah. No, it doesn't matter as long as it reads as it says. As long as it says as you read. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but as long as it looks right, who cares?
All right, so one of the things I did want to talk about with the American Ghost Hunter show is obviously everybody knows that Daryl is off doing Ghost Hunters now, and that's kind of left
Who's that?
Who's Daryl?
you two, who's Daryl? The big bushy guy.
Oh,
Oh,
Patrick
cousin
Swayze.
Yeah, the skull.
The
skull
bearded
beard.
Swayze, as I call him.
That leaves you two, Greg, Annie, and myself, to be kind of doing everything together. Now, how do you feel about having to do it? I know that you're sad. You look like a lost puppy whenever you're on now without him. And you can tell that you miss him. But how do you feel about doing it? Like, do you feel confident in what you're doing? Or do you feel like it's just kind
Never.
of free-for-all right now?
Never. I tell you the thing. For some reason, me and Daryl, we had a good chemistry, and we sort of got a good formula to make the show really good. And it's just, again, it took us a while to get there over the course of like 2 or 3 years, and it's just a case of having to adapt again. Because I'm used to being a co-host. I'm happy, bless you. I'm happy being a co-host. It's a lot easier. Or being a guest on someone's show, it's a lot easier because I don't have to control things. But being the main host, you have to control things, and it's not just the interview, it's also the, using the software and making sure everything's right, and making sure you keep an eye on what people are saying in the chat, and it's all those elements combined. And
The fact that you divorced me to marry Daryl.
it's legal in most.
Is that official?
Well, it might as well be.
But I mean,
But it's alright because I got you, so.
Daryl is not gone forever, but he obviously, I mean, with the filming schedule that he's on, there's no point in us attempting for him to do the show every now and then. It's just a case of
I just realised that.
just film and let that be that.
I just realised something.
What?
If we take the Ghost Hunter show, yeah, you, Daryl, and Greg, we've got Julian, Daryl, Ricky, you, Greg, Bubbles.
Can I be Barb?
I mean, Greg. I love Greg. Not very intelligent, but but when it comes to engineering and stuff like that, he knows what he's doing, which again is very similar to Bubbles. The only difference is he's not wearing glasses. We're talking about the Trailer Park Boys, in case anyone's wondering what the hell we're going on about.
But what's funny is like Honda cars are his kitties. Fucking.
He's got as many cars as Bubbles did cats. But then I'm very similar to Ricky. I often mispronounce. I obviously my worms. You know what I'm saying?
Like the fucking Rakins, but he was saying
No,
Rakins.
I usually mispronounce what I'm trying to say, or I say completely the wrong thing. It's like is 2 turnips the heat, or you just get 2 birds stoned at once. You know what he's saying, but it's
Yeah.
very.
But it's just wrong.
It's like there was we did a show on one of the shows in the American Ghost Hunter show. I could not pronounce.
Go for it.
What's the word when you prosthetic? I couldn't pronounce that word.
You said pathetic.
And I kept getting the guest to say it for me because I could not pronounce prosthetic at the time. Even now I'm struggling.
Prosthetic.
Prosthetic.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean.
So it's like anybody else's last name to you?
I hate like people that come on and think they're clever because they've got a complicated name. Who do they think they are?
Well, that's what I remember. I was watching one night. What was the last time you guys did a show? I was with you and Greg, and I don't remember who you were interviewing, but because it was in between the one that you and I did with Joe Vitale and Fred Scheidenberg, Ashley Godwin. There we go. Fred Scheidenberger, who's a really good friend of mine. you said, hey, he's like, oh, Fred, Scheid and some German last name, Junior. Don't worry, Fred, I know you. I just don't know how to say your last name. And I was dying because I was like, it's not, some German name, Junior.
Because Americans there's a lot of German names in America.
Americans have weird last names, I'm gonna say.
With America, there's like an amazing mix of cultures. You got English, Irish, Dutch, French, Latin, German, Italian. There's such a mix of nationalities. You're gonna get weird names. Like over here, they're pretty normal.
They are pretty normal.
I mean, unless you go to London, then most of them are foreign. Not that that's a thing. I'm just saying, London's a very
but even then
multicultural society.
What was your last name before you got married, Helena?
Shebang bang.
Oh my god.
I'm only joking. It was It wasn't shebang bang, it was cockwaddle.
I can't believe you guys are doing.
This one,
Oh my god.
it was fiddle duck.
It was Helena.
Oh my god.
It was Helena shebang bang cockwaddle fiddle duck.
First of all, can that be Bowie's middle name, please and thank you? Just Cockwaddle or one of them.
Her actual maiden name is Aarons, which people usually confuse with Aarons because it's a double A and they think, oh, you have to extend the A. It's not. It's just Aarons.
It's just Aarons.
It's like Lloyd has two L's. You don't go Lloyd.
But I prefer Helena.
Fiddle duck. I think I said.
The third.
So what? You're probably wondering where the name Fiddle Duck comes from. You don't want to know.
Because I ducks on Friday and got cold feet.
I was about to say, is it because you actually like fiddle ducks, or diddle ducks?
Fiddle duck.
Because that's illegal in most states here. It's weird because it's not illegal in all states, but it is illegal in most states.
I'm fiddling it.
There's a difference between fiddling and diddling, though. Diddling is when you do the
When she says
undercarriage.
fiddling
is on top.
What she means is she's...
I'm going to catch him finger it.
No. She's going to get out her little fiddle and do a little guitar.
I prefer mine.
Yeah, but I was trying to make it non-rude, but you just ruined it. Actually, learn how to control your guests.
Yeah, Ashley.
You two, there's no controlling that. Are you serious? This is no holds barred, man. Fucking gloves are off. We're in the Thunderdome.
Hell in the cell. This is.
It's 1:30 in the morning, and I'm
Tables, ladders, and chairs, bitches.
TLC.
There we go.
right.
Melissa said her sound is gone
Speaking
again.
of wrestling, we have a guy who watches the American
Ghost.
We have a guy that watches the American Ghost Hunter show. Yeah. And his name is Dwayne Johnson, and whenever he tunes in I go, oh, The Rock's watching.
You should go, do you smell what the Rock is cooking? And do his fucking... we should play that song whenever he comes on, because I know who you're talking about. That Dwayne Johnson guy, because I'm like, oh my god, The Rock is watching. I did that the first time I saw him on there, too. I was like, holy shit, Dwayne Johnson's
I wish it was Dwayne Johnson.
I love The Rock. He should be president.
Nah, I'm saying.
I love him, but he looks like all of my family members, so he's not aesthetically pleasing to me, because that's just fucking weird.
So are you racist against your own people?
No, just...
No, but it's just weird, because I don't want to, fuck my cousin.
I'm gonna go to America and make Ashley's cousin. So...
In fairness, I've heard that Ashley's family are all very tall, and The Rock is very tall. So...
yeah, my family's pretty big. Except it's actually not my Chamorro side that's big. It's my mom's side, the white side, that's big. My Chamorro side's real tiny. I'm the tallest one in my Chamorro
Genetics
side.
everywhere they go.
Aliens.
Tall whites. Yeah.
Factory. Right.
We're all type of white.
Aliens.
Okay, that's one thing I wanted to ask you guys, because I've been asking this to everybody that's come on the show lately. Just because of how often it comes up do you guys actually, and I was going to do a segment with you guys, but I got too busy today. I was going to say, what was it? Believe or bollocks? And I was going to make you guys go through.
I've got it written down for you. What
Believe or bollocks?
Believe or bollocks.
Let's
okay.
go.
Do you guys believe that anything with Bigfoot, UFOs, those different types of cryptids that you see, do you think that has anything to do with the paranormal, or do you think that's actual separate activity?
Separate activity.
Bit of both. Bit of column A and a little bit of column B.
Now, do you guys know about when people see Bigfoot or different types of cryptids, how they also see those bright glowing lights that people also say they see when they see UFOs?
But how can a living creature be paranormal?
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Do you think it's actually paranormal, or do you think it's something
actually prove outright that Bigfoot exists? And for some reason, whenever anyone tries to prove that Bigfoot exists, they suddenly don't have a modern camera and they can't keep still.
They suddenly get a potato out and go, "Way!"
It's like, it's Bigfoot. No, I missed him. I just don't get it.
Do you think it's a mystical being, though, like skinwalkers, shapeshifters?
No, I just think he's a very hairy, tall man.
I mean, scientists are discovering new species of animals day in, day out. Who's to say it's not just some kind of great ape, considering we are 98% genetically identical to them?
Fact.
Fact! So yeah,
well, that's
it's
what,
not just a
I mean,
great ape.
I've personally never heard of people seeing lights and stuff when they see Bigfoot.
That's a lot of what I've been reading up on with the whole cryptid part of what I'm trying to do with the show, is that they always report they see the bright lights, that they'll see them in threes, or they see the triangular lights ahead, like how when people have those UFO experiences. So, is it aliens like shape-shifting then? This shit is crazy. Like, I just want to I know we all want to know. But why does it all coincide almost?
If anything, UFOs, unidentified flying objects, is paranormal because they're unidentified. But I don't consider aliens to be paranormal. It's just the fact that we haven't proven it yet. Because it's ridiculous to think that there's no life beyond this planet. I mean, like we say all the time, the Earth is really insignificant when you compare it to the rest of the universe.
Nothing we do matters. And I know that sounds bad, but nothing we do matters.
Even if we travelled 9 times the speed of light, it would take 3 or 4 lifetimes to get from one side of the universe to the other.
At the end of the day,
that's how big it is.
The Earth is so insignificant, and life on Earth is insignificant, that as bad as it sounds, no matter how much money we make, no matter what we do with our lives, it doesn't really matter, because we are nothing in comparison to the size of the universe. And for us to think...
Enjoy life, basically.
Basically.
Because we're all going to be boned.
Exactly.
I mean, we're still discovering life in the sea. And if we're still discovering life on our own planet, then...
How can we say that there's nothing else anywhere?
Life doesn't mean it has to be full-on intelligent life. That's not what it means. To discover life on other planets could be at a molecular size. It could be tiny. It could be a small atom that's got life in it. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be intelligent life to count as life on other planets, because that's where we started. We didn't start as intelligent life. We started as a tiny
we seem to get to a point where we were intelligent, and now we're going backwards again. But
I was about to say, but is anybody really that intelligent anymore?
No, I mean, people are getting more and more and more.
But to us,
stupid.
But to me, like aliens, if that's what you want to call them.
Yes, alien life is
extraterrestrial life. There you go, because extraterrestrial means it's not on our planet. So. Yeah, it's a high possibility compared to how small we are in the universe. I mean, one day our sun's going to blow up and we ain't going to know for 8 minutes, and then we're all going to die before we even realise what's going on.
I'm looking forward to that day. Shama won't be around soon.
It doesn't surprise me that extraterrestrial life on other planets hasn't been found, because one, we don't have the technology to get there, and two, if it was found, we're too ignorant in our own minds to admit that we're not the only ones here.
And
I believe that even if they did come across something, the government would not tell us, just like they don't tell us about when they visit here. I mean, there's so many different accounts from actual military members and people you can trust from these things saying that they've had encounters and experiences. And for us to act like there's really nothing going on, that's us being as stupid as we possibly can be as a whole, because we're not questioning anything. We're just going with what we're told. You need to start using your own.
The governments of the world are all about control, and they try and make you think that control is about your safety, but the truth is that control is so they can do what they want, and we just accept it. And they're afraid if they were to tell us that alien life really existed, then, you know, we would stick our middle finger up at their control and say, you know, we're an unpredictable species, the human race.
We're a violent
and the
species.
government are too scared of. The governments of the world are too scared of how we'd react if we knew for a fact that there was life on other planets.
The problem with us,
and I think it's extremely arrogant and ignorant of people to assume that there isn't life beyond our own planet.
Exactly. The problem with us,
absolutely,
is we claim to be intelligent life, but we're very blinded. We're very one-sided.
We're a very selfish species.
We're selfish and we're a savage species. That's exactly what we are. So if there's intelligent life on other planets, who's to say they're not more advanced than us? And they're looking down at us thinking that we're the nothing.
Or that's why they hide themselves from us, because they're like, we don't want to have anything to do with that shit show that's going on right there. They're just like, nope, we're staying out of this.
We hate people simply because of the colour of their skin. Well, you know, I'm talking about the human race in general, not me personally.
Don't worry, guys. Alex isn't racist for the most
part. Unless you're an Eskimo, then you can go and yourself.
What
I mean, you travelled all that way and thought, oh, this is nice and cold. Let's stay here. You fucking idiots.
They did it to get away from the white people.
But it's white where they are. Anyway, I'm only joking. But my point is, you know...
I'm only joking, but fuck Eskimo.
The human race will hate and hurt simply because you don't agree with someone's beliefs, or we hate
and we hurt what we don't understand. We fear what we don't understand, and that's the problem. I mean, like with Bigfoot, he could be a form of great ape, he could be anything. But because we don't understand him, we're putting him up as this mythical creature, but he probably isn't. To be truthful with you, he's probably a form of great ape.
I mean, you want to talk about like cryptozoology. I mean, you look at some of the creatures that people find under the sea.
Exactly.
I mean, they're weird looking, and they exist.
And their functions are weird enough that it could be like filed under what cryptozoology is, like the different types of patterns that it can mimic, the different types of camouflage, like just little things like that, to where anything can be, I guess, a monster if you look at it from the right perspective, which is why I think, you know, if we ever did encounter aliens, I'm from the South, I know for a fact, and I've lived in Texas long enough to know that if these motherfuckers ever found out that aliens were real, they try and use them as like horses and rope them in and like try and ride them and shit, because they're just like that.
And people's beliefs would be thrown into chaos. I mean,
exactly.
If aliens exist,
absolutely,
then what happens to their god? I mean, you know, can people say that God still exists if there's alien life? Because as far as I'm concerned, from reading the Bible, God created the earth and the universe, but at no point did he talk about making little green men or little grey men or tall white men on other planets. The whole Bible is about the earth. So does that mean that the Bible's just a load of crap if there's alien life on other planets?
Exactly. It would just...
Again, I don't care if that's your belief. That's your belief. That's fine.
I just think
to an extent, I'm agnostic. I'm not sure if there's a higher power or not. I can't make my mind up. But at the same time, I don't think in a atheist way, as in, you know, we're born, we live, we die, we're bones. I don't think it's that simple.
You can't think that way because you have her in your life. Because, I mean, with what we can do, that was a lot of what freaked me out when I was younger, and I honestly, I think I told Helena this, I would freak out when I was younger. I could not sleep. I worried about death so much because I've been able to talk to dead people and spirits and things ever since I can remember. So I was always worried that I was going to become one of them, or when my family becomes one of them, will they always just be there to talk to me? Little things like that make you question literally everything. And so from probably like age 7 through 13, I would not go to sleep at night. I would literally stay up until like 3 or 4 in the morning. My mom would sit in my room with me and just kind of try and comfort me, because I would go into full-on panic attacks over dying because I didn't want to be one of the people that I talk to all the time. Or I didn't want my family members to pass away because of that. But it opens it up to where if it's not God, why do we become these like ethereal beings? How do we end up on that plane? Who controls that plane? There's just literally like an array of questions that we never can truly have answered.
The thing is with me, I'm totally different to you. I've never had a fear of death, ever. I'm really not bothered by it. I never have been. Because I know there's something else waiting, and I know that, you know, this is just a temporary state. And at the end of the day, let's look at it logically. We are a meat sack, and we're going to die, and we're going to be either burnt or thrown in the ground or whatever, become worm food. Great. But that doesn't mean it's the end. It means that my soul's going somewhere else, and that's fine. Because it just means I'm becoming more mature on my soul's
I think a good way of describing it is it's like our soul leaving our bodies, if you look at it in a scientific way, is like it's an energy that we haven't been able to discover how to read properly yet. I mean, ghost hunting, we have all these theories like EMF, blah, blah, blah. I mean, they've even used Geiger counters on ghost adventures, I think, at some point. But I think our soul, if it is an energy, it's a type of energy or element or whatever you want to call it that we've not been able to discover or, you know, read yet. And
but again,
that's where like the science way comes into it.
I think that kind of comes down to us being immature and thinking it's not possible, and, you know, human life is the be all and end all. It's down to the same thing, because we're not bothering to see if there are alien life forms out there. And when we do bother, we go, no, or NASA, thanks for covering it up, arseholes. But
an arsehole should always be covered up.
Yeah. I need to free that arse.
But I'll tell you what isn't science. Sharing
pictures of dust.
Pictures of orbs. And I want to know, who came up with this whole colour idea? Who thought, well, the blue one means this, the white one means this? Where's the science in that? I am completely lost. I mean, that. I know people see auras, and auras mean different things, but who came up with this for orbs? Where's the scientific proof with that? I mean, I can tell you that moisture can show like a greeny or a reddy type of orb. I mean, when you're standing in the sun and it's raining and suddenly there's a rainbow, I mean, same thing kind of happens when you take a picture and you get moisture in the air, you get different colours.
Exactly.
So I can tell you that for a fact, and it just drives me insane. I mean,
you've got off on an orb strop.
I fucking hate orbs. I'm not going.
I know you do, and that's one of the things I was going to bring up. Was I saw that somebody posted that on your Facebook page a few days ago.
One thing I will say quickly, sorry to interrupt you, but I used to be like it. About 10 years ago when I started investigating.
Yeah, you fucking did. It was well annoying.
Orbs, this whole new thing, and then as I've got more skeptical and etc., and actually looked more into it, I'm like, okay, let's stop being dickheads about this. Orbs can possibly be a ghost, but 90% of the time, at least, it's just it's something plain, physically, easily explainable.
One of my favourite things, and this is to like UFO hunters and stuff, and don't get me wrong, I fully believe in aliens and UFOs, and if you know who I am, you know why, but we ain't getting into it. Is when they take pictures of satellites and go, UFO. Well, no. No,
Oh, it's aliens.
no.
Or an airplane, like they actually just get the lights of an airplane
I
and
mean,
they're like, it's a UFO, and it's like, no, those are fucking
It's
lights.
like at least learn what space debris is. Do you know how much shit is floating about up there? If it turns
I
out
heard.
it comes in,
Literally.
I heard somewhere that there was a dishwasher on Mars.
there's not a fucking dishwasher on Mars. Okay, we're throwing that out right now. There's not a fucking dishwasher on Mars.
No,
Don't
but
listen to him.
there are aliens from Mars that go like this. Nah, nah, nah.
I love that.
That's what they do.
But like, it's just the point that like at least understand that every time we send something up, we're leaving shit up there. Let's be honest.
Hang
And
on.
if that hits our atmosphere, it's going to create lights because it's going to burn in our atmosphere.
Vicky,
Everyone's shouting aliens.
Vicky, the whole point of watching a movie on demand is that you can watch it whenever you want. So give it an hour. Watch it after you've watched us, sexy fuckers. Yeah.
Are you talking to Vicky?
Yeah, I am.
So you guys had a completely different response to her than I was like, thanks for stopping by, and you guys were like, don't be a dick. Pause the movie.
Keaton King.
Exactly.
I'm only joking, Vicky. If you want to go and watch your movie. But bear in mind, on demand is whenever you want, so you can watch it later. So.
Holly said, I don't think there's an actual scientific explanation for the coloring to orbs. I think whomever came up with it treats it like a mood ring. Exactly.
They just thought, let's get a paint color chart out. How about magnolia for someone that's feeling a little bit sad?
Or like a fiery pink for somebody.
I mean, they're so predictable.
Sassy.
It's so predictable as well. I bet green means like the dead person feels sick or jealous or something. You know?
Or they were a stoner.
This person died off their head on weed. Next.
My next question, right, and this goes to you, Ashley. Yeah, why do a lot of mediums, I hate that word, I hate it, but we'll go for it.
Where did that come from?
Fuck no.
What does the size have to do with the brain and talking to them?
Why do most mediums, they never turn around and say,
spiritualist psychics.
Even that I can't fucking stand. Weirdos. We're weirdos. We're wired wrong. We talk to dead people. It's not normal.
Okay, let's think of a word for it.
Right.
You talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to think of a new word for mediums.
Weirdos. But why do most people say that the spirit is like sad or angry or sometimes they're happy? But you never hear one person go, oh, those fucking drunk out of his tits.
Because I honestly, okay, and I'm not trying to like offend anybody, which I mean I don't really care if you're offended because if this offends you, it's probably hitting home
like
for
Eskimos,
you.
get over it.
Yeah, if it's offending you, it's probably hitting too close to home for you, and I'm sorry, but if the shoe fits,
If
you watch it,
a lot of the people.
I love that all color chart. Go and
swim.
A lot of the people that I've encountered thus far being in this, especially like the people who come on the live streams, like American Ghost Hunter show, when I'm doing my live investigations and people are like, oh, I'm a medium, I see this and I see that and I see this and that and the third, and I'm like, but I'm like literally right here and I can tell you exactly what's happening around me. And so I know for a fact it's just bullshit. More than 80% of the time, it's just people sitting there and just spouting off things, and it has nothing to do with the remote reading. It has nothing to do with them actually having the ability to see these things. And that's a huge reason why I don't like calling myself a medium, because everybody and their mothers nowadays calls themselves a medium.
I mean, I can guarantee you.
Here's the new word for mediums: the dead operators.
There you go.
Ooh, I like that. Can we get T-shirts made?
Me and Ashley.
I just trademark that. I just trade if you're one of the few 10 whatever many people watching this. Trademark the dead operators. That's gonna be my thing.
TM.
I mean, I can guarantee you, right? I'll be brutally honest. I've seen drunk fuckers. I've seen high ones. I've seen naked ones. I've seen fucking
tall ones, thin ones, fat ones.
Exactly.
Coloured ones.
I've seen ones with
Eskimos.
Good-looking ones. You know,
the ones where one boob is bigger than the other.
I've seen ones whose dicks were massive.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it was fucking huge. I
Yeah.
didn't know why to
She
look.
hasn't seen him.
It weren't even funny.
We've not been to Israel, so she hasn't seen Jesus Christ.
I ain't seen Jesus. But I have seen a ghost with a really huge dick.
Mm.
Well, that's what
Like, you know,
I've ran into a few spirits who've actually been inebriated or drunk, and it was funny because one of them was actually in a bar, a Coconut Island bar back at the Islanios Museum. It was one of the old bars they had running in the 20s, and all throughout Prohibition, that's where all of like the crooked politicians, all of the bootleggers and stuff would go and run through, and they'd meet there to kind of just do their business. And they moved the Coconut Island bar room to the Islanios Museum site. And it was like a full-fledged party in there. It was like they were all just sitting around, still drinking, still just carrying on like they would in life. And one of them was so drunk that he was, like, you know, that slurring, like, singing type thing people do, you know, like the swaying back and forth. He was like that. And it was so weird to me because a lot of the times, and I guess it's just because the places that I go to, it's more tragic, or there's just something like super negative that has happened in these places. This was a completely different feeling because, like I said, it was like a party, a full-fledged party with dead people, and it was fucking awesome to have that shift of energy.
I don't
And that was the first time that I did.
why people have come to the conclusion that you die and you become boring.
What I don't understand.
What the fuck? No.
What I don't understand is how some investigators forget that they're actually talking to
People.
Well, okay,
Yes.
not even forgetting they're talking to people, talking to adults, because they talk to spirits like so.
They're children.
Exactly. It's like, oh, go on, you can move it. Go on, I'll give you a prize. It's like,
And then there's me going, you're either going to move it or you're going to fuck off
like-
and let someone else
I was like,
move
oi,
it.
mate, you move this, you get some alcohol,
AJ.
and that works.
I love him. I
It's
love
like,
that
you
spirit.
don't have to talk so patronisingly to these
But
guys.
AJ's a drunk.
It's like if you wanted a mechanic to do something to your car, you wouldn't go,
Would you please change the oil for me, baby?
Oh, can you
Change the
replace the wheel for me? Can you do?
That's exactly what I'd
It's
do.
like,
If I was a ghost and they were going, could you move this for me, and I'd be like, could you fuck off for me? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing
I do something to make him go the fuck away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'll be one of those ghosts where I'll be getting told off by other ghosts and say, stop telling them that you're a demon. I'm like, yeah, but if I don't tell them I'm a demon, I don't get on TV.
Exactly.
Yes, that drives me nuts. Well, Alex, you were there for that though. When okay, so the spirits are motivated by certain things, and the more you get to know these spirits or the energies that you're working with, the more you know what motivates them. And so yeah, sometimes we do bring stuff. It's not treats because they're not animals. They are humans. That's the thing. Give them something that they enjoyed when they were on this
Sex,
plane. Give them something.
Rock and roll.
Alcohol and money, because remember when Clyde at the ambush museum took the money, like he tried taking the fucking money.
He did. He moved. That was incredible.
I mean, that was to me, and
I
I
think
always
because
use trigger
I was
objects.
secretly blowing through the camera.
Well, that's what
I never.
everybody.
We've used like little bottles of whiskey
Miniatures.
or coins or cigarettes as trigger objects, and they go missing.
Did you take them?
No, because the cell was. I didn't know where. It weren't me. I don't like whiskey. I don't like whiskey.
What? I didn't say it was
No.
you. You're imagining things.
So I don't know if the cigar vanished either. That went missing in the fucking cell where I'd locked.
But that's another point, though, is that, like you guys said, we don't treat them like they're human beings. They were once human beings. We sit there, and we also forget that respect aspect that we need to bring into it. When people sit there and go into these locations and are just like, show yourself or do something, and being rude and negative, that's a
And
human being.
you got to think as well, these people were living in a time where they could drink and smoke and not feel guilty about it.
Exactly. AJ for his own.
You're gonna get
He's a drunk.
cancer.
Yeah.
But I love him so much that I just don't care. I AJ is one of the best spirits I have ever met. And to this day, we go to the location, first thing I do, fuck this, I'm going to go talk to AJ. Because he's great.
Not that we go to that location anymore.
But he don't stay there either. He wanders around. I've seen him on several occasions. Drunk, off his tits, falling over, slurring.
Now,
Drunk.
okay, so Holly said the word medium is for people who use the dead as a tool. Like a painter has a medium. Well, we know why they call them mediums. We were kind of joking about that. We know why they call them mediums. But for people who actually experience it, we just don't like. I personally don't like it because, again, so many people call themselves that.
People always come up with
it's given it such a negative
people
connotation.
come and say, oh, I'm an extra large. So, yeah, you are, you fat cunt. But, sorry, I shouldn't use that word. Americans don't tend to like that word, fat. No, seriously. I mean, an XL isn't even that big. I'm a 3, so, you know. But
we prefer the word plump.
But they always come up with the same joke. Oh, I'm a large or an extra large or a small. It's like,
Thing is with me, and I don't know if it's the same with you, Ashley, but like I've given readings and I've done that area of things, and I don't particularly like it because you know too much about people and you.
Exactly. I don't, and this is why I use the word parapsychic when people ask what do I do, because one, if you just say that you're a medium, everybody and their moms comes to you trying to get a reading, or like they're like, hey, help me with this, help me connect with somebody, or can you read my aura right now, or can you tell me what's gonna happen? It's like, okay, there's a difference between being a psychic and being a medium. There's a whole different variation and range in it. Now, I don't like dealing with living humans because you know way too much about them. Like, I even told you this. I don't like going out into crowds of people because you pick up on everything. Like, you can tell the bad shit that people do, the good, like, and the bad usually overpowers the good, especially to me, to a point where I'm just like, oh my God, y'all are skeevy. I don't want to be here. And, you get all those people asking, can you help me? Can you read my aura? What am I feeling like today? And I'm like, I don't know. Why don't you fucking ask yourself? What do you feel like today?
The thing is with me, I'm like, if there's a message somewhere, it will get to you. It doesn't matter who the fuck tells you. I'm here for the dead people, yeah?
Yes, I would rather help dead. I would rather deal with dead people than living people.
My problem is, they've lived their fucking lives. Why should they tell you how to live yours?
That's one thing I've always been confused about, is why do people go to mediums to find out what their dead relatives think, how they should live their lives?
How would they feel if their dead relatives went, mate, you're a cunt? How would they feel about that one?
It's like, should I move house?
I don't give a shit. I don't live there. I'm dead.
Yes, and you're also disturbing them. Like, there are so many people who they've been like, oh, can you contact so-and-so and all this stuff? And I'm like, well, I don't feel... That person is passed on. That person is peacefully on the other side. So what you want me to do is go ahead and try and wake them up like some Beetlejuice shit and be like, hey, they have a question about what kind of dog they should get. Can you come over here real quick?
Drag them in and start asking them personal questions. Get pissed off if people ask you, like, charity people stop you in the street. What makes you think it's any different?
I've got a tip. If someone in the street stops you, a charity person, first of all, it's not a bad thing to ignore them, because at the end of the day, these people generally get paid to do what they're doing, and all you're doing is helping their commission. So what I do is just pretend that I'm foreign and I don't know what they're talking about.
That was well amusing.
It's like, I turned into an old Russian woman.
If it weren't just you, though, was it? Our American mate turned into a Russian woman as well, and it was like, oh my God, I'm running off.
No.
I automatically go, no habla inglés, lo siento.
I'm running off. But it's like, how... I've never, like, heard a medium giving a reading, and they've never turned around and said to the person, all right, your granddad's disappointed in you, and he thinks you're being a cunt. I've never heard
Stop
it.
using that word.
They always go, oh, they're really proud of you. Oh,
and
no.
I've noticed that 90% of the time...
No, they're not.
A medium... I'm not... Okay, right.
Say it.
When I say this, I'm not saying all mediums are like this. It's just that I've noticed that a lot of the time, money comes up in a reading.
Yes.
Well done,
I mean,
I've got money issues. I live in the world.
exactly. Unless you're talking to Trump, no one has money issues, you know.
I've got money issues. Well done.
And
well done. I can tell you're having an emotional issue right now. I wouldn't be here if I didn't have issues.
I didn't have.
And,
like, I'm obviously disturbed in some extent.
I mean, we had an old friend of ours went to a medium with her boyfriend at the time, and she was told that they were gonna have a baby within the next 2 years and get married shortly afterwards. They broke up after a week of seeing that medium. I'm like, what? And they paid like $50 to do this, and they were told, you're gonna have a baby, you're gonna get married, and then week later she broke up with him because he was boring. So I mean, you know, but the thing is, like, years ago, my mum was told that she was going to move into a house with a red door. And so when we were selling the house we were living in, and she was looking for houses, guess what she was doing? She was
looking for one with a red door.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is...
So it's going to happen because you've been told it's going to happen, so you're going to make it happen yourself.
Exactly. The thing is, what people don't seem to, like, logically use their brains, is you're going to this person because there's issues in your life, and they can pick on anything. They could go money issues, relationship issues. 9 people out of 10
health issues.
Yes. I've never the last reading I gave, I pretty much told the woman that she thought her husband was more like having like another child because they weren't mature at all and he needs to grow a pair of balls. Turns out she texted it to him about 4 hours beforehand. But that's all that came through for her. Sort your husband out, he's a knob. I'm not going to sit there and go, money issues. Your granddad said it'll be all right. Did he? Because I'm pretty sure he didn't.
See,
next week you're homeless.
Pretty sure he didn't.
And that's why I won't do readings for people anymore, because actually the only reason I won't do it anymore is because the last person that I did it for, I told him, I was like, you need to be careful because the path that you're on right now is incredibly dangerous for not only yourself but everybody else that's surrounding you, because you're going to let your ego just take control and you're going to end up alienating everybody in your life pretty much. Now, this was a gentleman who was on Ghost Bait on Travel Channel.
The problem is people don't want to hear the negative. If they go to a medium for a reading, it always has to be positive. Oh, things will be all right. This will be fine. That will be fine. Your relationship's going to be fine. They don't want to go there and hear, well, actually, you're about to lose all your money, your husband's cheating on you, and you're about to lose everything.
And you've got fat.
Yeah.
That isn't a medium, that's just a general observation.
But, I mean, he didn't get upset. He was just like, I can see that happening because he was trying to make his appearance on Ghost Bait become something that literally like made him money. He was trying to make it a name for himself just off of being off of one episode of a shit show. So I mean,
that is the opinion of Ashley and not us because we can't give an opinion. We've never seen it.
I don't watch
America.
And it's literally using living human beings as bait. And it's horrible. The situations they put them in. It's
one of about 35 shows on the Travel Channel. On the Travel Channel.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But so he was like, well, and then, you know, I just read a bunch of other personal things about his life, and he was like, you're spot on with everything. He was like, so I really am going down a bad path then. He was like, you are legit. And I was like, well, that's what I fucking said. Like, I'm not going to repeat myself twice. Yeah, that's what I said.
But,
so then he ends up going, like, into this spiral. Instead of heeding any warning from me, goes into this fucking spiral where he decided to attack multiple members of the paranormal community. I mean, this guy has literally burnt every single bridge that he has built with people because he just went fucking nuts. And I was like, dude, I told you to stop. you didn't listen. And then he came back to me after he did all this shit and kept trying to message me and was like, well, how do I get it to be different? I'm like, by listening to me in the first place, you jackass.
Exactly.
Stop messaging me.
Fuck all we could do about it.
Exactly.
But I just want to clarify. I mean, it kind of sounds like I'm like poo-pooing on mediums. That's not a euphemism, but just so you know. And there's a lot of mediums out there who are.
I'm having a pregnancy sweat, everybody.
Dude, I'm the same freaking way.
Alright,
right
get off the
now.
pregnancy talk. We can do that later. There's a lot of mediums out there who are incredible and do an amazing job.
Yeah, Ashley.
Um,
She's sexy and all.
yeah, and I mean, like, as pure example, we have a
Me
medium
and
on.
Ashley.
We have a medium on the American Ghost Hunter show tomorrow.
Me and Ashley.
And yeah, I know. When he was last
We'll
on,
say it then.
you and Ashley,
There
when
we go.
and when he was last on our show, he told, because off camera, he spoke to Daryl quickly, because this was before all the news broke about him being on Ghost Hunters and stuff, and he didn't actually mention Ghost Hunters to this medium, but he asked him if it was going to. He said, "What does he think? Does he think it's going to be okay?" And he said, "It's going to be fine, and you want to look out for a phoenix." And he said that, but that's what I'm getting. So the next.
Was that Grant rising from the
Ross
ashes?
has got a phoenix tattooed on his tits.
No, I mean, I suppose.
Go on, show us your phoenix.
I suppose there's a symbolism of that in a way, but
Yeah.
The rebirth of
it was
the
actually
show.
in a physical form because, yeah, I mean, he didn't know it was Ghost Hunters. He didn't. I mean, you know, he wouldn't have known in any way. But
I'm really sorry, but I might have to stand at the door.
but
for a
the
minute.
next day, Daryl got his plane tickets, and the first airport he was going to was Phoenix. And I think it was in this airport. There was a big mural of a phoenix on the wall.
Well, yeah, it's in Phoenix, Arizona.
So I assume that was there. So he actually did see it, which I thought was pretty incredible. And every other reading Barry did during the show was spot on.
Yeah, I did watch that show.
He-
I was very.
So he's on
and that's-
tomorrow
I
on the
might
American
have
Ghost
to
Hunter
be a
show.
little bit rude for like 5 seconds because I'm about to pass out. I do feel get somewhere.
Well, go on then.
Take care of yourself first, boo boo. I feel you. I'm legit the
She's
same
got
position
a
you
note-
are, except if I fan myself, that's all you're gonna hear.
She's got a note from her doctor.
What?
Holly actually asked a question. She said, what has been your most frightening experience while investigating?"
Leaning on a hand dryer. That was terrifying.
Yeah, it's not. That's the funny thing about paranormal investigation. Shush, dog. Sorry. That's the funny thing about paranormal investigation. It's not
Titties.
necessarily the ghosts that are the most terrifying thing.
I can talk.
But I mean, I suppose my most
Leaning on a hand dryer.
in terms of paranormal, my scariest moment was probably when
You got the hashtag mega chills.
I got the mega chills. Yeah, I was like overwhelmed. Like I felt like I was being pursued by like loads of spirits out of these caves, and I just felt very uneasy and horrible.
Funny,
And
though.
yeah, I mean that was probably. I mean, even then I wasn't like terrified. I was just really nervous and scared.
I can't answer the question because I really don't know.
I've never seen you scared on an investigation, no.
See, and that's another thing is, again, you know, there's a difference between being frightened and then being like overwhelmed by the energies. I mean, there have been places like at the Broken Bow Asylum. That place, I wasn't scared. I was fucking pissed. And I couldn't do anything about it because I'm growing a child inside of me, and I'm not trying to have him be in the middle of this war that's waging between myself and that bitch ass. Oh my God. See, I talk about this part all the time, that as soon as this baby pops out, I'm going back to Broken Bow and I'm settling it with him because that was some bullshit. And I don't appreciate being attacked like that.
No, I don't blame you. I mean, everyone was watching saying get out. I think there was one person
The
who was
only
like...
person she listened to was me.
I think there was one person who was like, stay and see what happens. I was like, you bastard.
See, and had I not been pregnant, though, I totally would have.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that is the only thing that was stopping me. And even at a certain point, I mean, I really should have gotten out of there sooner, honestly. Now that I think back about it, I should have gotten out of there sooner. As soon as, now that was the thing though. I went back 4 days consecutively and never encountered this, because I've also never been tricked before. I think that's what pissed me off the most. I've never been tricked by an energy. He legit had me thinking that he was a teenager needing help. He got me to the point where I was going back every single day and communicating with him and trying to help him, all for it just to turn in a quick second, because after I started trying to help everybody else pass over, he was like, fuck you, you're not taking my spirit, you're not taking the energies I have trapped here. And then he started attacking me. He showed like his color changed completely to me, and it pissed me off that something was able to trick me. I was honest, it was like a personal vendetta at that point. So, I mean, I should have gotten out of there once I realized what he was, just for the well-being of the child. But you also know I ain't no pussy, so I'm not finna back out. So I was like, I'm gonna deal with this. And then it got to a certain extent where I was like, I'm just getting that anger. He's feeding off of it. It's just gonna be detrimental to me, detrimental to my child if I continue doing this, because he's legit just. He's amping up off of me right now. Yeah. That's all he's doing.
If you want to watch, if you want that live feed is still somewhere on the American Ghost Hunter Show Facebook page. Holly, if you want to watch it.
The thing is,
Holly, it's on.
As soon as I started watching it, the first thing I did was tell Alex to tell you to get the fuck out.
I got messaged by both of you.
I was like, get out.
Helena said, get out. And then you messaged me, get out of there.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's not worth it.
Get out. You know? It's not even worth the energy. He's a knob.
Yeah. And I think more than anything, though, because of part of why I love doing this is helping those trapped energies and those trapped spirits. I like being able to help them. I like the fact that I don't feel crazy anymore. Like, I found a way to channel what I can do. What's always made me feel out like an outcast or just plain fucking weird, I can use it for good now. Right. And I love being able to help them. And I think that's what pissed me off the most, was that I couldn't help them. I was just as helpless as they were in that moment. And I do not like feeling helpless. Like, it literally makes me upset. And it was just like a pinwheel of emotions that he continuously fed off of. I'd get pissed, and then I'd get sad, and then I'd get even more fucking upset because I was sad and I don't like being sad. And then I felt helpless. Then I was raging mad because I felt helpless. I was like, you cunt. See, we can say it.
We've all said it now. We're all going to hell.
Fuck it.
I told you guys, no holds barred.
The thing with me...
For anyone watching, they're just words. Don't get upset.
The thing is with me, like, I'll know when something's an arsehole. I'll know. And I'm not polite enough to...
Takes one to know.
Exactly. It takes an arsehole to know an arsehole. And I'll know an arsehole when I see one. Exactly.
I usually see one when a cat stands on me and turns around.
But it's like at certain locations, I'll know where the arseholes are turning up because they'll whistle at me.
It's like you can walk in a room and you can know straight away if someone's wearing a wig.
Oh, I've got wig radar. I can't help it. My brain knows there's a wig before I do. Like, it doesn't matter. It just goes wiggy, and I'm like, where? And then I spot it, and I'm like, wig.
Same thing with ghosts, arseholes.
You ain't fooling anyone with your wig. I've got radar.
Well, that's... Let's see. Holly... Okay, yeah, that was the question. So we answered that one. Holly said, "Oh shit, we say cunt all the time over here." See? It's cuntalicious.
It's cunting fantastic.
I'm not going to degrade myself by saying that word another time.
Saying what word?
Unless I get a really good excuse to use it.
He's like, I only use it for the proper reasons.
Well, in America, in the UK, it's not only an insult; it's also a term of endearment.
Yeah, like, happening, cunts.
Yeah, there are a lot of people here who would get offended by it. But, I mean, Americans get offended by everything nowadays. So, I mean, what's new? And I'm American, so I can say that.
And I'm like, get over yourself and cry about it.
One of the things we talked about last time was the fact that anytime, for some reason, I either have you on the show or, like the last time I did the interview with Joe Vitale with you for the American Ghost Hunter show, or the Broken Bow Asylum when you did that video, "This is not Ashley" in between my live feeds, so people would stop freaking out. The question of, why is there a British man on the American Ghost Hunter show?
Ashley.
That question, either, like, it used to be funny to me, and now it's just kind of annoying, because it's like, can we not have variety? I mean, he doesn't have to.
Alright, it's our show now, and if you don't like it, don't watch it.
Well. I think you find it's my show. Yeah.
Daryl's husband took over because Daryl left. Because Patrick Swayze went dirty dancing.
Fucking Swayze.
No, but
He's
he will
on a-
watch it back.
He's on a plane at the moment.
He will watch it back, won't you, Swayze?
That just, I mean, it's another thing, like, people, because somebody actually got upset about it. They're like, why is a British guy doing the American Ghost Hunter show? And I'm like, why the fuck are you still watching if it bothers you that much?
Because the British guy runs it, and without the British guy, you'd have no fucking American Ghost Hunter show.
Thank you. I mean, it's insane what people feel entitled to get upset over nowadays. It's literally like,
Without
oh, well,
British guy-
that offends my
Without this
sensitivities.
British guy,
And
Daryl
shut up
will
and keep
not
going.
even be on TV. That's what I like to think. I like to think that I made Daryl better.
Yeah, but the worst thing is he'd agree. That's the worst part about it. We're joking, but he'd agree.
Okay, before we hop off, because we are like an hour and 10 minutes into it, we're going to do 3 questions, lightning round. And Helena will answer first, then Alex, and we will go ahead and do the closeout after that. But no thinking, no holds barred.
Sweet.
All right. Alex, what do you find most appealing about actually being able to investigate with Helena? and don't say looking at her tits either, because we all know that's one of them. That's what you were thinking, huh?
She's a lot of fun.
He doesn't want to get murdered tonight.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't know. It's fun doing it with you.
I dragged you into it. You didn't have a choice.
Basically.
I mean, as an investigator, I mean, you see how other teams investigate together. What does she bring to what you guys do that makes it more interesting or more fun for you?
Everything, because he's my...
And don't say the tits.
Them tedders.
These twins.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. I mean, you know, she's my wife. I love her.
It's my
I
turn.
could get a bit mushy, but I'm not gonna because that's just sad.
He already is.
But basically, yeah. I mean, you know,
I mean, being with the medium, I mean, opposed to everybody else that's on your team and the people that you investigate with. I mean, does being with the media? I guess that was more so my question. Does
Ask the right question then, or fuck off.
Fuck off, twat. Like being with the medium, the one that you can trust. That's the thing. One that you can trust. Does that add anything to the investigation?
He doesn't trust me because I grab his tits in public.
But you don't feel like that gives you any type of edge over people who don't have people like that on their teams?
Well, I usually leave you on your own.
I'm like a deer in headlights here. I don't know how to respond to the question.
He just doesn't want to die tonight. He doesn't want to say the wrong thing.
In all seriousness though, right?
Just say tits. Tits answers everything.
I don't want to sound really sad when I say this, but you know, we're married, we're like best friends, and we work well together. And don't cuddle me because this makes it look even more sad.
That's super gay.
No, but that's the thing. We get each other, we read each other, and we do what we do on investigation. And that's that. I mean,
It's easy.
it just comes natural, you know. I mean, I hadn't even thought about paranormal investigation until I met her, and then because you know I was bedding her, I thought I better go on an investigation with her, otherwise she might not bed me anymore. No, it
And
wasn't
then we
like
got
that.
married, and I don't bed you anymore.
Yeah, now so she at least makes my dinner. She don't, I make it.
I don't
But
cook. I clean instead.
no, we just have a good chemistry, and that's how it works. And you know, we've brought other people in, we work with us and stuff. But when it comes down to it, you know,
It works because we're family, and we work with my mum and all, so just a family, and it's easier than working with, well,
random strangers that are just in it to see the thrill or that literally thrill
yeah.
seeking,
I mean,
that
we've
chase that people
we've
try and get
brought
on.
people on investigations before. I don't.
and they don't like the fact I tell them to shut up.
Yeah, they don't like they don't really, you know, they expect more. And then like last time we brought people along, they left after about 11:30, and then as soon as they left, the location actually became very active.
Not a big loss, bunch of
So
wankers.
we don't like, I mean, we don't really do residential cases, not because we're selfish, because whenever we've done them, it's been a bit of a nightmare.
It's been therapy for other people.
It's like, we've
pretty
done
much.
one location where it's literally a case of, if you want the activity to stop, maybe clean your house. And another one where, you know, it was a case of, if you want the activity to stop, separate. You know, we
Yeah, or take your medication.
I
You know,
It's
with
like
the clean because it was like
it was-
my OCD was kicking off like a bitch. And
I
I was
mean,
getting
not only
angry.
was it a mess, it smelled real bad. You know.
It weren't good.
But it was just a case of, you know, you've ruined the house with your mess. If you want to stop the activity,
He's pissed off.
clean your house.
Exactly.
That was it.
well, that also causes chaos
said,
in your
you know,
life.
clean out the house, open your windows, air it out, and you'll be surprised how much better the atmosphere will be.
Exactly.
Well, it's because, I mean, I guess that was really my question, because you guys see a lot of different teams, or you see a lot of people who do it solo, but to see a husband and wife team do it, it's a very different dynamic, because you have a completely different level of trust with each other than, say, I would with just a random stranger who decided to join my team. You know, I'm never gonna, I hate to say this, but after my experiences with it, I'm never gonna trust somebody that's not either related to me or, you know, TC, to have my back like that, or to feel secure enough in that position
Exactly.
to fully do what I need to do. That's why I go alone now, because I know I can trust myself. If you can't trust the people that you're with, it can get dangerous for everybody.
I mean,
involved.
there's so many.
That's the same with anything in life. If you don't trust someone, don't do it.
I mean, there's so many reasons why having trust issues with someone you're investigating with can be a bad thing. I mean, it could be whether, you know, is this person going to actually...
For a quick fire question, this has gone on for fucking hours.
I know. Is this person going to look out for me in investigation? Is this person going to fake evidence? Is this person going to do stuff they shouldn't do? You know, is this person going to be respectful? If you don't trust them on any of those, for any of those reasons, you should not be investigating with them.
Exactly.
It's not. No, it's not rocket
not.
science.
Just walk away. It's easier.
Yeah. Okay, Helena, your question is, how big are your titties? No, I'm just kidding. I already know that. I already know that answer.
Almost an
Okay, so I know that you have a spirit guide that stays with you, that gentleman.
Yeah, William. Or Will, because he gets pissed off when you call him William.
Would you ever feel, I guess, incomplete if he ever decided to fully pass, like, just move on and
that's not an option.
interact with you?
Why? Because he's not allowed to, and he knows it. That's not even an option.
But if he ever did,
He
by
doesn't
chance,
want to anyway.
No, he would never do it. I'd feel weird if Will weren't around.
It'd be like losing
love
a
him.
limb.
It would be like losing a limb. Exactly. It wouldn't be normal.
It'd be like phantom limb
It
syndrome.
would be weird. That guy saved my life, literally, more times than I can choose to remember. So, yeah, no, that's not a choice. It's not an option for him. And that's really
You're stuck, Will. I know you can hear this.
It's been too much, and he ain't going nowhere.
Okay, now this one is for both of you. How do you think, and I'm interested in this just because I'm in the same boat, how do you guys think that having a child will affect your, I guess, the tenacity that you have when you start going out on locations and investigating? Would you still do the same level of investigations, or would
I
you
don't know,
go?
it depends, because
Yeah, I've got babysitters.
children tend to be very, very selfish beings.
No, I've got babysitters.
I just mean, like, would you put yourselves in the same situations that you would before?
What?
I mean, would you go to the places where you know it's darker and you have a bigger chance of bringing something home with you?
If you've got a decent guide, if you've got a good enough guide and a good enough ghost network around you, then they ain't getting near you. If you've got a shit network around you, why the fuck are you investigating in the first place?
Because they want the views.
My guide, I've got no issue with that, fuck it. I've got a few guides, but I don't really care. Yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. What's the worst that's going to happen? He's going to try and follow me home and then go, actually.
We've never had anything seriously happen before. No, we're careful.
16 years my team has been around, and I've never been followed by an arse. We don't use the D word.
So that doesn't worry you at all?
No.
Not really.
I mean, I suppose people in some respects might say that's a bit
cocksure and cocky.
Yeah, like confident, but it's not that at all. It's just that we know we take proper precautions.
I have
just not in the bedroom, hence.
Several guides, and most of them are military, so it ain't happening.
So you'll be good. Well, that's one of the things that people kept telling me. They were like, well, you're pregnant, you shouldn't be investigating. I'm like, first of all, you guys have only known that I've been pregnant for like the past, like, at that point, it was like 2 or 3 weeks. I had been investigating for at least 4 months pregnant and never had anything happen to me because I make sure I take the proper precautions. I make sure I take the proper steps.
You shouldn't be investigating. Is they're around me all the time, so what difference does it make if I'm in a location?
Exactly. Now, Broken Bow was just different because of that energy. I mean, like, I would only go, at this point now being pregnant, I would only go back to the places that I know for a fact where I'm safe, where I'm protected by the actual spirits that are in those places.
Because you let your guard down and you trusted him.
Yeah.
Never let your guard down.
Fucking
it doesn't matter how good your guide is. As much as I love Will, never let your guard down. Your guard is what protects you.
Yeah, but it was harder being like, I guess it was just like the hormones of it all. I mean, it was legit. Like, I'd never felt like that before. I felt so vulnerable that it literally, like I said, it pissed me off. I felt so vulnerable that I was pissed because something finally made me, like you said, it made me put my guard down and made me let it in, and I was just...
But as bad as it sounds, that's where being heartless comes into it.
Yeah, I can't see, as much as we say that we are, I mean, you might be. You genuinely might be. You're kind of crazy. I try to for the most part, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is my first human life. That's why I don't like... I empathize with humans more than I empathize with animals more than I do with humans.
That's human life. That's why I'm heartless and I don't like humans.
Well, yeah, because you've had like 70 of them.
No, that's taking it a bit far.
You've had like 70 lives so far. 5 that you can think of.
5 that I know pretty fucking well.
Okay, now, last question. This is for both of you. When you guys finally make it all the way over here to the United States, what is the one location that you want to investigate more than anything else? They're like, we don't fucking know.
There's a few places.
I really care.
The White House.
I don't care.
Would be interesting.
Because all locations are pretty much the same. Full of dead people.
Who told me that? Oh, crap. I can't say that.
Don't say that out loud.
No, I just remembered what someone said about something, and I'm like, oh.
I don't
I can't
know.
say. The House of Wheels
Yeah.
is intriguing. In Ohio.
Yeah, I want to go to that place because that's where
Mounds-
Daryl was scared.
Moundsville is intriguing.
I want to do some asylums.
The USS Constitution. I'd like to try.
Yes.
Skinwalker Ranch.
No.
I just said that to annoy
I
him.
mean, I would do it. Don't fuck.
Why does that annoy
The Queen
you?
Mary, I'm interested in.
You should try the USS Lexington down in South Texas.
Say
That
wherever you're
is
gonna
pretty
take me,
fucking
Hugo.
intense.
Wherever people are going to take us.
I'd like to go to some of the older parts of America. So obviously, like, you know, Virginia upwards, that sort of area. Like Henricus, Jamestown, Boston.
I really want to
areas
go
like
to
that.
some asylums. And I know it sounds weird, but mental people are fun.
They really are.
It sounds horrible, doesn't it? But mental people are fun.
It really is. It's a more. It's definitely more chaotic, and to me, chaotic is fun. So I guess
You see, Americans. I mean, I completely understand this when I say it, but Americans love Gettysburg. Completely understandable. Why? If you love history, you love paranormal. Gettysburg is just probably like Disneyland, but obviously I've got no interest in Gettysburg whatsoever.
So you guys wouldn't want to do like historic
me
war
being
sites?
British, there's no connection to Gettysburg because it was it's the American Civil War.
It's
not
not
the
old enough. The problem with America is that all their little locations and all their ghosts are baby ghosts. They're so little. They're so young.
She's being very patronising.
They are.
I mean, it's kind of true. I mean, aside from, what you have, and that's, I won't really fuck with Native American stuff because I do know how in depth it can get. Like, that energy is just so much more concentrated than anything you will ever feel in your life.
Is that we joke and stuff about America's like new, but the United States of America was founded like over 200 years ago, but there was people in America
that have been there for literally centuries.
Their locations are pretty much new, unless you go and fuck with native stuff. It's new.
I mean, there's areas.
It's like I won't go and mess about with druid stuff because it's just not worth the time.
I mean, people always talk about America being a British colony, blah blah blah, but you had the French, the Dutch,
Roanoke. I want to go to
fighting
Roanoke.
people over there. Roanoke is interesting.
I want to know.
Croatoan. They just moved. They moved like 17 miles up the coast, and when the ships came back, they couldn't find them. They actually came out with a study recently where they figured out what happened to the lost Roanoke.
Fuck Roanoke then. I thought it was going to be interesting.
No, they just moved. And it was back then when they didn't have, the ability to sit there and just text somebody and be like, hey, man, shit got weird over here. We're going 17 miles up the road real quick.
Roanoke would be like a cool place, but now it's been ruined. Thanks a lot for that, Ash.
You're welcome, boo.
Any big...
we need to go to Salem, is what we need to do.
Still babies, though. You need to come over here. I'll take canoe, and that place is cursed.
Yeah, it's like we had... I mean, like, we had more witches over here than Salem did.
Well, I actually think that you guys would love New Orleans.
Oh, I want to go to New Orleans.
As the cool people go, New Orleans.
That's where I'm...
That's what the cool people say.
That's what the tourists say.
No.
They say
New Orleans.
I mean, what's kind of funny is that like our house is built on like a Saxon? What is it? On a Saxon like living space and battleground. I don't know. I'm tired. My brain's not
Village.
working. There you go.
Living space.
Well, fucking thing. Town. Town is the word I was
It wasn't
looking
a town,
for.
though, was it? It was a settlement.
Or whatever. It's the same thing.
Which
So
is,
it's old as shit.
you know, over 1,200 years old at least.
Well, it's funny though that everybody in America is like, oh, there's so much. Here's the thing. Yeah, lots of places are haunted here because everything's a fucking Native American burial ground when you think about it. It's all Native American, you assholes. So, yeah, some shit's gonna happen.
It doesn't matter where you are. You could just be walking along a street. You can guarantee someone's died there.
I mean, if you want to go back and actually talk about when people actually started settling in America in terms of Native Americans, they came over from Asia through Alaska.
The Eskimos.
450 to 1066.
Yeah.
That's fucking old.
Mm-hmm. Over 1,000 years.
Yeah, but they're residual. I mean, when you see a dude in a dress, it is a bit like, what the fuck?
She doesn't agree with my, extracurricular activities.
No, it's just when he's on a horse and you're looking at him, thinking, what the fuck, and then one of your resident ghosts is like, why are you being rude? But he doesn't speak English.
Okay, so apparently you guys don't have any set places, which is
Any
funny
what
because I definitely thought that you'd have at least like one in mind that you just like you have to go to.
Nah.
To be fair, I mean, I'll just
go where I'm taken.
Exactly. I mean, we've got places where we've got like actual parts of America where we have to go to, like obviously where you are. Although I'm sure that I'm going to say something wrong to a text.
No, we're going to New Orleans.
We want to go to.
Yeah, I'm not taking you anywhere in Texas. We're going to
Oregon. We've got to go to Delaware. We've got to go to Boston, Massachusetts.
Road trip.
We've got to go to Virginia, Florida, North Carolina.
Why would you want to go to Florida?
I want to see it.
Because this is where all of our friends are, and plus we want to go to Cape Canaveral.
I want to see it.
Oh, I can understand that.
Well,
just know that there's a reason why Florida Man is a thing.
I'm not bothered about going to Miami. I've been to Miami. It's not as nice as it looks.
Can we just go to Canada?
And I want to go. Yeah, we want to go to Nova Scotia in Canada. We want to go to.
That would be beautiful.
Toronto. We want to experience Canada as well.
I want to see the Grand Canyon. I don't know where that is though.
That is in.
That's in Colorado and parts of Nevada and stuff. Like you can see different parts of the Grand Canyon in different areas.
It's very big. That's funny.
It's honestly nothing to see. Like it's just a bunch of fucking riot. I mean, I'm big on nature and the wonders of it. And even when I got to the Grand Canyon, was like, that's just a big fucking
exactly.
hole.
I'm not. Like, it's like I don't want to go to I don't want to go to New York or any like cities or anything like that.
I ain't interested.
I want to experience
New York is overrated.
Real America. I'm not bothered about city life and stuff like that. I want to go to historic places. Go to places
I don't like
where
people enough to go to fucking.
Yeah, New York. I legit was almost about to like every single person that passed me because they're also rude as fuck. I just be walking down the street and there's just like a horde of people just coming at you and just bumping into you and I'm like, excuse you, like, does nobody know their fucking manners anymore? It's like I was like, alright, we gotta go. We stayed in New York all of like 30 minutes.
You wanna like firm yourself up so when they bash into you, you bash them back and they fall on the ground.
Well, it's funny because, I mean, I played rugby, so at a certain point, that's what I started doing. I was just like, all right, fuck it. I'm just standing my ground. You want to try and go through me? Bitch, try, but it ain't finna work. And then this one lady was like, ow. And I'm like, well, then you shouldn't have fucking ran into me. You shouldn't, like, you could have gone around. Don't ow me like I hurt you.
I mean, I want to experience small town America where, everyone's nice.
See, and I can do that for you. New Orleans and everything in Louisiana. I mean, all of Louisiana is like that. And you guys will eat some of the best food you've ever had in your life to the point where you won't want to go back.
No crawfish.
It's the UK.
Weird, like fish. And no
I'm
shellfish.
allergic to seafood.
No crawfish. No shrimp. Nothing like that.
We deep fry everything. You'll be
do you have to fry? I prefer grilled.
Are you serious? Ugh. You're totally
or
British.
barbecued.
No, we're just fat.
You gotta get the American deep fried everything platter.
It's all right. Up in Scotland, they'd deep fry your nan if you asked them to. So.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, they would.
So before we go, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys' logos. I'm going to plug Boleyn Paranormal, the American Ghost Hunters Show, and Living Paranormal Magazine, and Paranormal Bully Busters. So just bear with me for a second while we get this done.
Just remember, don't end up jacking it in San Diego.
I think more than half of the people, they should know what it is at least. A lot of my crowd is older people. All right. Give me 1 second. Okay, so here we go, guys. This is Boleyn Paranormal. We also have the American Ghost Hunters Show right here in the middle. And then we have Living Paranormal Magazine down here in the corner. All three of these are now ran by Helena and Alex. You can go ahead and find them on Facebook. They have a YouTube channel for the American Ghost Hunters Show. And for Boleyn Paranormal. Living Paranormal Magazine, you can actually catch that online. You can download the oh my god, I was going to say episodes, the issues online, and you can go ahead and purchase products from both of these websites, the American Ghost Hunters Show and Living Paranormal Magazines. I know that you guys, a lot of people actually lately have been sharing the Dude, Your Orbs Are Out. Yeah, they've been doing a lot of the Dude, Your Orbs Are Out drawing has been going around a lot, and you can actually find that on the Living Paranormal Magazine page. They have a phone case. Don't you have like a coffee mug too?
Yeah,
or something
you can
with
get.
that?
I mean, one of the images that people started sharing was actually a picture of the stickers that you buy on.
You should have seen me trying to draw balls on a ghost. My mum walked in and was like, "The fuck are you doing?"
Doing spectral porn, Mom.
And I'm laughing because I'm adding pubes to it. She's walked in and she's gone, "The fuck are you doing?" I was like, drawing ghost balls.
So, yeah, you guys can find any of their work on those three sites, the Boleyn Paranormal, the American Ghost Hunters Show, and Living Paranormal Magazine. Tomorrow at, I do believe it's 6 p.m., correct? Eastern
it's an
Standard
hour
Time?
early tomorrow, yeah.
Okay, so it's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the American Ghost Hunters Show. They're going to have Steve Barry, or Barre, however you say his last name. See, now I'm the one fucking up the last names. Barry John, there you go. I don't know why I thought that was his first name.
We're calling him Steve tomorrow.
And, so yeah, we've got, so Barry John is on our show tomorrow. Next week, we have Annie and Shay on the show. And then the week after that, a few days after Ghost Hunters actually airs, we're going to have Mustafa from the new cast, who is the historian.
Every time you say Mustafa, I just think of Mufasa from The Lion King.
I do the same thing, and I go, Mufasa, Mufasa, Mufasa! Oh! And the hyenas.
But it's going to be a great show because apparently he's as bad as I am, so...
Oh, Lord. See, but do you still have to watch your cursing, though?
we have toned back a bit.
It's fucking boring.
On our...
Well, that's what every time I'm on, I'm like, oh, can't say that shit. Oops, can't say that stuff. Okay, and then right here we have the Stomp Out Bullying for Paranormal Bully Busters. If you or a loved one are a victim of bullying, no matter your age or circumstance, please call the number below or go to the website to get help. Someone does care. We care. If you have any type of questions, any type of qualms about what you're going through, go ahead and call this number, 877-NO-BULLY, or go to www.stompoutbullying.org. You can also donate straight to the Stomp Out Bullying organization on this website. Everything goes back to the resources they use, including a 24-hour chat line for anybody, any age, any gender, any race. Go to where you feel safe. Remember that your life does matter.
And if you can't bring yourself
to any... Or some advice from a British person.
All right.
Punch him in the face.
Yeah, I'll tell them.
That's how you handle a bully, apparently.
I
Sounds
did.
like-
I
Face.
his nose. He weren't
But,
happy about it.
Tell them to fuck off and get a life.
Well, if that worked, I mean, that'd be an easier way, but I feel like we just need to teach people to be more respectful towards one another. I mean, it's literally a simple lack of humanity that we have a crisis of 11. I don't know if this happens over there, but I mean, we have 11 and 12-year-olds committing suicide because of how dehumanized they are, because of how just shitty they get treated
I've
nowadays.
always got the impression that in America bullying is a lot worse than it is over here. Not that it doesn't happen, bullying does happen over here, but you don't, like, I mean, I've heard some sort of things that happen in America in terms of bullying, and it's cruel, some of the things that happen, like, and it just doesn't happen over here.
No, we
Like-
don't get the same amount.
Okay, you know, kids get called names, they get beaten up, you know, they get trolled on the internet and stuff.
But most brutes
but-
just punch out.
But a lot of the stuff that I see happen over there, it just seems unnecessarily cruel.
It really is. I mean, and it's also, again, it starts at home, guys. I mean, if you sit there and you're not teaching your children how to respect other human life, or if you're even dehumanizing your child, I mean, that behavior follows into every single thing that they do. I'm a teacher. I can vouch for this firsthand. I've seen some of the worst kids come through and be nasty and horrible to other people, but then realize that it's because they get treated like that at home. Their attitudes are reflecting what their parents. So you also have to sit there and take the time to not just hold the bully fully responsible. You have to try and help them as well. A lot of the times it's just children trying to reach out and they're trying to get some type of attention, anything other, like any type of love or any type of attention, because that's
Exactly.
all they know. That's all they know.
Hate is not inherited, it is learnt.
Exactly.
Abso-freaking-lutely. But with that said, though, we are now over an hour and 30 minutes. And I know we're both sweating our balls off right now.
I think
My
my
bird.
tits have shrunk.
My balls are like
No,
almost
mine
completely
are
off.
gone. They fell off a while ago.
We are going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you, everybody else who watched tonight. I know a lot of you guys end up just catching this in archive because 7 o'clock on a Saturday is when the rest of you are out partying or investigating or doing something.
So we have
But when you catch us in archive, like you always do, if you guys have any questions, like always, go ahead and message them to me, and I'll relay them, or we can touch on different subjects that we talked about on the actual show. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I had fun, as always, talking with my best friends. Do you guys have anything else you want to plug or say before we sign off?
say no to drugs.
Oh, Living Paranormal Magazine's free. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Living Paranormal Magazine is free, and they have some of the coolest articles in there. Like the ones that they did in the last issue was the Nazi and using the occult. They had a lot of cool pieces in there about New Orleans, which was really weird to me. I didn't know that anybody knew about these things. Like, you guys wrote about Charity Hospital, and that's actually where I did my first ever investigation, was their cemetery.
It's also
So that was very
NCIS New Orleans.
My,
Yeah,
To clarify, I don't watch
actually,
NCIS or anything like that. I just saw it in like one of the like commercials on TV. I was like, oh, that's Charity Hospital.
yeah, they actually film everything down right on the street where I live for that. So where I used to live, at least.
Oh, I do have
So,
have
thank
one
you.
last thing to say before we go. Never go full Daryl.
never go to Daryl.
Never go. And never, or don't find yourself jacking it in San Diego, too, is one of the other ones.
Yeah, do it in your bedroom where you're meant to.
In a sock.
I don't know. Have you ever been to San Diego? I'm just kidding.
Please, people.
San Diego, which means
Wash.
whale.
Whale's vagina.
I've got advice. Wash your dick. There you go.
And your balls.
There you go.
Don't put alcohol on them, it stings.
No.
Yeah. Don't stick in vodka.
Ghosts.
You You guys seriously got like the mild version of the shit that we talk about. So I mean, we need to do like an X-rated one day where we don't have any filter. This is us having a filter, guys. Just in case you didn't know, this is us having a filter. Right. So thank you guys so much again for coming on. We will have to do this again next month, and hopefully by then we'll have more people to poke fun of and more shit to talk. For everybody, thank you so much again for watching, for Storming the Unknown on RU Media Network. Thank you very much. I'm so fucking hot. But remember, if you want to discover the secrets of the universe, if you want to discover the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, and y'all have an absolutely wonderful